From the comfort of your own home, it's the all-new Peerlywed game. We know you're all mourning not being in Kansas right now, but remember, you do have indoor plumbing. In fact, there's a wise old saying that goes, the length of a minute depends on which side of the porta-john door you're on. Here to help take your mind off of things for a bit is your host, Emmeline Lachaussier.
So, welcome everybody. Welcome tonight. I'm Emmeline Lachaussier, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to host our inaugural episode of the Peerlywed game. That's right, folks. So tonight we're going to be joined by one pairing from each order. And so I'd like to start us off by taking a few minutes and, without any further ado, actually meeting these pairings. So our first pairing, he was crazy enough to serve as baronial seneschal twice, and the crazy must be contagious because she is our current seneschal, Alexander and Natalia. You guys are all right. You know her as our former King's Bard, Mastrina of all things musical, and him you know as the God of Biscuits, Martin Bell and Philippe Le Vigneron.
The full package.
He is not only a member of the Order of the Chivalry, but also, of course, our very own baronial excellency, and his dependent might just be even more excellent. Baron Jonathan Miles and Marcus. Okay. And lastly, with his flair for the dramatic, this member of the Order of the Defense is complemented nicely by his cadet, who is always ready to just get to the point of things. The rapier point, that is. That's Karen, Master Orlando. Everybody, thank you all for being here tonight. So I wanted to take just a quick second and get to know you all just a little bit better. So actually, Master Orlando, tell me, when did you know Kieran was the one?
Well, I knew Kieran was the one when he said yes.
What question was he answering?
Well, there were several, none of which are really appropriate for this venue. But there was another that I asked whether he would be my cadet, and he said yes.
Fabulous. Kieran, I hope you don't regret that decision.
No, but it did take some questioning of what is a cadet.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, Philippe, I know that your attraction to Margrethe was instant. Tell us a little bit about that attraction, that relationship.
Oh, definitely the ankle belt. You know,
it was more instant than instant coffee, I'm telling you.
She is a force to be reckoned with, and she is absolutely someone that when I look at her, like I words can't describe what I see. She's just so, je ne sais quoi. I don't know.
So clearly everybody know that I'm the third wheel in this relationship. So.
I'm sorry.
She's not that sorry.
Natalia, you and Alexander obviously have a lot in common. You both served as our seneschal. What is something unexpected that you two also have in common?
What do we have unexpected in common, Alexander?
They asked you.
We both apparently are, well, I guess everybody knows, but we're apparently gullible enough to run Mudfraw and Quest and all the other events we do. So, a mutual gullibility.
Right.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. And Baron Jonathan, clearly Marcus is very special. Tell us something about him that you find irresistible.
Well, I met Marcus originally in the middle of a bar fight in Newark, New Jersey, where he defended me with his with a knife that he always. I don't know if you know this about Marcus. He always keeps a knife on him at all times, and he defended me, saved my life. And after that, I was like, "What? Well, what can I do to repay you? You want to ride home?" And he was like, "No, I just want to be in the choir." And he left me there in the corner to think about it. And eventually, I said, "Yeah."
always being played by distance. I wouldn't want to be on the other end of Marcus should you guys lose this game.
That's why I'm trying to be funny. This is my swan song. I'm gonna lose and he's gonna kill me.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for helping us get to know you a little bit better. We're going to get started. And so the way that this works is we're going to be asking a series of questions to our dependents, and they're going to be answering these questions the way that they think their peer would answer them. So in just a second, we're going to ask all of our peers to disappear and sequester themselves. I'm going to spend a little time with the dependents, and then we'll call you guys back when we're ready to share our answers. So
They're gonna disappear.
bye, guys.
Bye.
So our first question, let's see. All right. So who would be better at calligraphing a scroll? You or your peer? Who would be better at calligraphing a scroll? You or your peer? What do you think, Marcus?
Jonathan would definitely say I would be, but that's just because he's pretty humble and he likes to give others a lot of credit.
Oh, okay. So you're going to go with Jonathan?
Yeah.
All right. Philippe, who would be better at calligraphing a scroll?
Well, the bar is so low for me to be able to calligraph a scroll that, like, it has to be Margretha.
Okay.
It has to be Margretha.
All right. So by default. Excellent.
By
okay.
default. Yeah.
All right. Kieran?
So Orlando actually made my AOA scroll.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I know for a fact that my handwriting sucks regardless, but even if I had good handwriting, it would be an A.
Okay. It's an easy choice for you. And Natalia, who's better at calligraphing a scroll? You or Alexander?
Well, I do have to say, when I got my bronze tower back many years ago when he was Baron, he signed it. So I can confidently say it would be me. Sorry.
Wonderful. So that signature gave him away, huh?
Just a little.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So our second question. What liquid is most likely to be in your peer's drinking period, like their vessel, in their drinking vessel? What liquid is most likely to be in that drinking vessel?
What time of day is it?
Let's go. Does it matter? Does it really matter? Like, let's be fair. All right. All right, Philippe, what is most likely to be in Margretha's drinking vessel?
Oh my gosh, I really don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with wine, but that could be wrong. It could be mead, but I'm gonna go with wine. Like in my gut, like I feel like it's wine, and I really should know this.
Yeah.
But I don't, so I'm gonna go with wine because.
So you're not gonna write like mean.
No.
All right, Kieran, what's most likely to be in Orlando's drinking vessel?
So the joke with fencers is if they're not stabbing, they're drinking. But Orlando's not one to marshal while drinking, so he is definitely going to have tea in his cup.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Okay.
All right, Natalia, what's most likely to be in Alexander's drinking vessel?
Well, as a protege, you know, service is deeply involved in the role, and as such, I may have fetched 1 or 2 or 10 of these before for my peer, and that is a Guinness.
Very nice. Nice. I like it.
Specific.
I know. I like it. I like it.
Oh, did I need to be? It's specific or extra stout? No.
Okay. And Marcus, I feel like I know this answer already, but what is in Baron Jonathan's drinking vessel?
This may be the only one I get right, but Diet Mountain Dew for the win.
And that I think we all would have yelled at you.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody's got their answers jotted down. We'll move on to our last question. Okay. If your peer had $500 to spend on something SCA related, what would it be? what would your peer spend $500 on? Kieran, you know where you're headed? What would Orlando spend $500 on?
Well, let's face it, we all know Orlando, and Karis is everything to him. So if she needed something or wanted something, she would definitely have first priority. But if he had to spend money for himself, it would be a new sword.
Yeah. Feels like a solid pick. All right. Marcus, if Jonathan had to spend $500, what would he spend? What would he buy?
He would definitely buy a piece of armor, something that he would have commissioned off of an effigy that he's been obsessing over for a while. If he couldn't get that, then he would take that money to sign up for a class with a master armor so he can learn to make it himself. So it's kind of two answers, but it's still armor.
Okay. I'll accept it. All right, Natalia, what about Alexander? What is he thinking with that $500?
I don't know. What do you get for the former Baron that is everything? Well, I have to say, when
I think it's more Guinness.
I honestly was about to say the cakes for the party. Like he'd just get another. Yeah, I was gonna say a bartender, but we have a Stanley. Anyway, you know what? He's always impressed me with this style, so I'm gonna say he would ball out on some linen garb and get some nice fancy tunics to complement the awesomeness that is him.
Very nice.
All right. Well, I think if I were to just guess, Margrethe would probably buy a new instrument. You know, like $500 could probably get her, I don't know how much a hurdy-gurdy is, but like if that were, I'm going to go with the generic instrument, but like if we're going for specificity, maybe a hurdy-gurdy.
Okay, so an instrument, bonus points perhaps if she says hurdy-gurdy, we'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
Natalia, did you have something?
Yeah, I want to change my answer. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Bling at Crafty Kilts. That's
Okay.
what I'm going to do. Because you know what? He may have a nice fancy gift, but if he had $500 just for himself, he would, yeah, Bling at Crafty Kilts. Okay.
All right, wonderful.
Competitive at all.
Okay, so let's bring our peers back. All right, peers. So your dependents answered some questions about you and how they think you're going to respond to these questions. So our very first question that we asked was, if it was between you or your dependent, who would do a better job at calligraphing a scroll? Who should calligraph the scroll? What do you think? We'll just go around. So, all right, Margrethe, do you think it's you or Philippe? Who should be the calligrapher?
It's totally me.
It's totally you. Can you show us your answer? Yes!
Just fix your thorn, will you, please? It looks like a pig.
I'm going to try to do a little thing on top of it.
So, I think you just answered your own question.
Reasons she should be the calligrapher.
All right, Alexander, who should be the calligrapher, you or Natalia?
So this should be easy because everything artisan is in her DNA. It would be Natalia.
Okay. All right, Orlando, you or Kieran?
Kieran is so gifted artistically that I have to say, still comes down to my years of experience as a calligrapher and illuminator. Me.
Yes. Okay. All right. And Jonathan, you think it should be you or Marcus? Whoa, wait. Mark, hang on. I have no patience in my handshake. All right. Round one, and you all are tied up. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, let's move on. So the second question we asked them is, what liquid is most likely to be in your drinking vessel? All right, Pierce, so what liquid is most likely to be in your drinking vessel? All right, we'll start this round with Jonathan. What is most likely, you don't have to write it down, Jonathan, you can just tell us out loud.
He wants to write it.
I think we all know anyway.
He likes writing.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we all know anyway. Yeah. All right, Marcus, show us your answer.
That was
Right.
just one.
It's like they're feeding it to us, Mark.
Okay, all right. Margrethe, what's most likely to be in your drinking vessel?
Secondubin.
Okay, Settmour. All right. And Philippe, can you show us what you thought was going to be in her drinking vessel? By that face, it's not looking promising.
No, I wasn't sure. I thought it might be wine, but you're right. It would be Settmour, and that's
I'm pretty sure that means you owe her a beverage next event.
What a shame, Philippe. What a shame.
All right. Alexander, what is most likely to be in your drinking vessel?
I would say beer.
Okay, just out of curiosity, any particular beer that you're drawn to?
Depends on what time of day, when we are, but I mean, it could be Oktoberfest, it could be Guinness.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I will say that Natalia prefaced it by asking what time of day it was.
Yeah, we don't know each other at all.
Okay. All right. And Orlando, what is most likely to be in your drinking vessel?
At this point, I'm counting on my cadet to have written 4 different answers, and he's going to hold up whichever one I say. Well, I have my drink of preference, which is Kraken rum. However, I think that he would say either Guinness or water. I'm going to go with Guinness.
Okay, going with Guinness.
I went non-alcoholic because I figured you'd be marshalling.
In the morning.
I figured you'd be marshalling.
If he's marshalling, he definitely needs Guinness.
Yes.
The last question that we asked your dependents was, if you had $500 to spend on something SCA related, how would you spend that money? What would you buy with your $500? Orlando, you want to start us off this round?
Certainly. And I will be gravely disappointed if you did not write down rapier.
Okay, let's see what you got, Kieran. I think that's close enough.
In my defense, my first answer was whatever Karis wanted.
But she always lets me buy a new sport.
Okay, all right. Jonathan, you've got $500 to spend. How do you spend it?
It's not how I spend it, it's how he would spend it.
No, it's how he thinks you are going to say you spend it, just to make things complicated.
A new tool.
Okay, a new tool. What have we got, Marcus?
I thought you would commission some armor based on the effigy that you like to spell.
It feels like, in other words, Marcus should be shopping for you. Like
Yeah. Who would have been a close second?
If Mark buys me armor, I won't have to buy new tools.
Okay, all right. Margrethe, how are you spending that $500?
Is this a rhetorical question? There is only one answer, and is it yet another musical instrument? Because right after how many musical instruments do you need
Softball. Even I would
the
have gotten that
answer
one
is
right.
just one more.
just one
If this
more.
is a
That's it.
rhetorical question, when can I expect my $500?
All right, and I think that takes us to Alexander. How are you spending that money?
Probably a horn by shrew.
Oh, okay. I went with the other favorite. Ring at Crafty Celts.
You could go either way.
Close second, but Shrewhorn, that totally is the answer. Oh.
Her work is amazing.
All right, I believe, if my math is correct, that after our first round, you all got 2 questions correct, and I think that ties up the game. I think we're going into round 2 all tied up.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to now ask our dependents to hop off the call, and I'm going to spend a little time chatting with your peers about you. Okay, so again, peers, so what we're going to do is I've got 3 questions for you. The first 2 questions are going to be worth 5 points, and then there's kind of a Hail Mary bonus question. Your last question will be worth 25 big ones. So if you get that last question, you can really sort of come from behind. All right, so our first question is, if people said that one of you were too big for your chazes, who would it be? You or your dependent? Who is just a little too big for those period britches? You or your dependent? Okay, I see some people writing, so we'll go around and share. So Jonathan, who do you think it is? You or Marcus? Who's just a little too big? You're a little too big.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Margretha, who's a little too big for those chazes? Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, Alexander, who do you think is a little too big for those chazes? Is it you or Natalia?
Natalia.
Yes.
All right, and Orlando, what do you think? You or
I've been guilty in the past, but I think Kieran.
Kieran is just a little too big for those chazes. Understood.
Yep.
All right. So second question. Who would win in a game of Coob? You or your dependent? Who would win in a game of Coob?
Is that the Viking thing with the
Yes,
wooden
Margretha?
blocks?
Yeah, the wooden blocks tossing the lawn game, Viking lawn game, right?
Oh, gee, that's what that is.
So who would win? Orlando, who would win?
So I'm going to say, because I was running it last year in Quest with some other wonderful people, that I have a pretty good idea of how to play it. I think I would win.
You would win. Okay, excellent. All right. Jonathan, who would win, you or Marcus?
Me, because I don't drink.
A fair answer. I guess that kind of relates to Natalia's question of like, how early in the day is this happening, right? Like, is it morning Coob or evening Coob? Like,
Yeah.
All right, Alexander, who would win, you or Natalia?
I would say Natalia.
Okay, all right, excellent.
Just out of sheer competition spirit.
It's true, I can see that.
Yeah.
And Margretha, you or Philippe, what do you think? I like that consistency. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And our last question, and remember, this one is worth a little bit more points. So, when heading to an event, what item is your dependent most likely to have forgotten at home? What do you think they left at home? So, Margretha, do you have an answer? What do you think? Philippe?
Yeah, I think that it would be his rapier offhand, like a buckler or a cape or something like that.
Okay, all right, so an offhand weapon for rapier, okay. Jonathan, do you have an answer yet? Do you know what Marcus leaves at home?
I'm going to go with an answer that can be taken either direction to give me a better chance of winning, and I'm going to say his cup.
Great, I like the versatility there. That's a good answer. All right, and Orlando, what have we got here? Hold it up just a little higher, I can't quite read it. Up. Oh, nice, some consistency, Jonathan. A consistency. Yes.
Great minds think alike.
I love it. All right, Alexander, it's all down to you. What do we think? Okay, I was gonna say, because if you say cup, then that's a little
that's true.
problematic.
Could be the same thing.
It's kind of in the same ballpark, but
Yeah, kind of.
I got it. Ballpark.
Okay, wonderful. So let's go ahead and bring back our dependents.
All right. So dependents, again, your peers answered some questions about you, and you're going to let us know what you think the correct answers are, and then we'll reveal what they wrote down.
I feel like the pressure is on. Like
Just to let you know, their first 2 questions were worth 5 points. Their final question was worth 25 points. So it's the final question has some advantage here. All right. So our first question. If people said that one of you was too big for your chazes, which one of you would it be? Which one of you is just a little too big for those britches? Okay. All right. So, Philippe, I saw you react. What do you think Margretha wrote down?
Oh yeah, me. Absolutely.
You're a little too big for those britches. All right, what's right down, Margretha? Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay, Natalia, you think it's you or Alexander who's just a little too big for those britches?
Well, due to my demure and soft-spoken nature, we're gonna go with me.
You, huh? Okay. All right. I find that hard to believe, but Alexander, show us what you got.
Yay! That's why I did this role.
Okay, Marcus, you might need to unmute yourself for us. Okay, let's get you unmuted. All right, excellent. So is it you or is it Jonathan? Who's too big for those Johnses?
I think that would definitely be Jonathan.
Okay. All right, what do we got? Jonathan, raise it a little bit. Me.
Me, I barely fit into my cow suit.
Fair. The cow suit is very slimming, though. Very
Glad to
flat.
say so.
Yeah. All right, and Orlando, who is it? Is it Kieran? Kieran, is it you or is it Orlando? Who's too big for those britches?
You can ask him first.
What do you think?
I have a feeling it's me.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh my
I love the doodle. That's
Yeah, really. Everybody's trying really hard.
Our next question is, in a game of Cube, who would win? You or your peer? In a game of Cube, who wins? All right, Natalia, I can see you thinking about it. Is it you or Alexander? Who wins?
I like the puppy.
I am going to defer to the prowess of my peer.
Okay.
See, I was going to go with the competition level of my defense.
Okay. In other words, you're both just too nice. Too nice.
And you pay the price. Prisoner's dilemma in full effect.
Yep. Kieran, who wins? You or Orlando?
Well, I've never played, and I'm pretty sure he has, so I'm definitely going with him.
Okay. And he agrees with you.
There you go.
Okay.
Well done.
All right, Philippe, is it you or Margretha? What do you think?
So she's been to our house and she knows that we have a backyard, and I think she knows that we have a cube set. So I think she would know that I would probably win because I'm also kind of pretty good at cube. So
and so humble, ladies and gentlemen, so humble.
I'm so humble.
Or it didn't happen, Philippe.
So I think she would say that I would win.
Okay. All right. Did you say that, Margretha? Let's see. Oh, okay, not her. So you got that one. Yes.
Right.
Okay. All right. And my last pairing. So Marcus, is it you or is it Jonathan? I know you both play. I've seen you both play.
Sure. I definitely play a bit of Cube, but I'm going to go with Jonathan on this one.
Okay. Any particular reason?
He is naturally athletic, and he has passed that on to his Oscar as well. So both of them are ringers.
Yes, he has.
I do think the correct answer is Oscar, but yes.
Yes, Oscar would be the right answer.
So Jonathan told you would win. You get those points.
Yeah, it's just because I don't drink and you all do.
Exactly.
You're underestimating the benefits of drinking while playing Cube.
Oh, there's no estimation. I've observed it. This is empirical, Your Excellency.
Okay. I believe as we head into this last question that scores stand as follows. Right now, Jonathan and Marcus have 20 points. Philippe and Margretha also have 20 points. Alexander and Natalia, you are just behind with 15. You're right there. And Orlando and Kieran, you also have 20. So we've got a three-way tie for first. However, clearly, it is anybody's game, right? Like this last question worth 25 points. Anybody's game. So here we go.
This is way too intense.
I'm going to get stabbed if I get this wrong.
Okay, our last question. So you're heading to an event, right? So when heading to an event, what item are you most likely to have forgotten at home? What did you leave at the house? All right, dependents, so think about it for a second. You're heading to an event. What is the thing you left at the house? See some thoughtful faces here. All right, Marcus, I don't think we've started with you. So if you can tell us, what did you leave at the house?
So what did I leave at the house? Wow, this is a tough question.
Yeah, it is. That's why it's worth more points.
There.
Funny how it works.
So honestly, it's a tough question because I'm so anal about packing everything ahead of time. I forget.
So you left your to-do list at the house. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be it. You know, it's probably my maybe like a piece of jewelry, like one of my rings.
So like a piece of jewelry and accessory, something like that. Okay. All right, Jonathan, what would you say?
Oh man, when you said anal, you were so close. No real reason. In fact, it was an impossible question for us because I know that for a fact that Mark would not forget a damn thing.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
All right, Natalia, what did you leave at the house?
Everything. No. What did I leave? Well,
you're gonna have Marcus pack for you, is what I'm hearing.
Clearly. Well, if it was leaving Pendic, I would say my tent, considering that wound up on the side of Route 80 at one point on my way home, but that's not it. If it had been other events, I'd say feast gear and everything, but I'm gonna go with the generic.
I like that she's trying to read his face.
I'm gonna have to go with my boring.
Damn.
I should have done that once.
All right. Good for us, Alexander.
No, my first thought was Rob.
Wedding.
But I went with feast gear.
You were so close. So close.
You were so close. So very, very, very close.
I should have went with feast gear. Okay.
Very close.
So close.
Okay, Philippe, what'd you leave at the house?
I don't know because I'm married to you, so like I don't forget anything.
I'm not gonna give him bonus points for that. Just care about that.
I mean, like, I guess if I were to forget something, it's probably going to be my music stand.
Your music
stand.
Okay.
Right. Like, but yeah, I'll go with that. Like, yeah. Otherwise,
okay, so you forgot a music stand. Understood. So let's see. What do you think you would forget? Your hand weapon for your rapier. Yeah. And I will say that cartoon looks very sad to not have a buck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay, so Kieran, this could be the game. If you get this correct, you could win the game. No pressure.
If not, we go to sudden death.
If not, we do have a tiebreaker. Yes.
I didn't participate.
All right, so Kieran, what did you leave at home?
So I'm sure my dog has picked up on this, but I am usually so busy focusing on the fencing and making sure everyone else is drinking and eating that I always forget my own cup or feast gear.
Okay, cup or feast gear. All right, Master Orlando, what did we write?
I meant his drinking vessel.
Of course you did, you snake.
Of course.
Well, was going to say, Jonathan, you can't be too mad about the publicity.
No, you played the same tactic I did.
Well, then I think that gives us our very first winners of our very first Peerlywed game. We've got Master Orlando and his cadet Kieran. So congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
And more than anything, thank you all for playing with us. Maybe we'll do this again. If there's other peers independents out there that want to try this out, we'll see what we can set up. Thanks, everybody.